What smoker should you buy? An offset smoker, a drum smoker, or a gravity-fed smoker? If you want real wood and charcoal burning flavors, these are the smokers to look at, but each one has its own strengths and weaknesses that we're going to look at in this video, so you can make the best decision. Let's get smoking. Welcome to the Smoke Lab. My name's Steve Gao, and on this show I do crazy barbecue experiments you would never do at home, so you can learn from my trial and error. A lot of people ask me, hey Steve, I want to get into barbecue. What kind of pellet grill should I get? And my answer is...
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Offsets, drums, and gravity smokers are way more flavorful, they are in many cases just as convenient, and they're definitely a lot more fun than a pellet grill. But hopefully you already know that, and you're just here to pick between the big flavorful three: offsets, drums, and gravity smokers. Each one has its own unique strengths, limitations, and flavor profiles, and which one is right for you depends on what you cook, how hands-on you want to be, and how much you care about fire management, flavor complexity, and cooking volume. So for this video, I'm breaking it down into 5 categories for each smoker. 1, what meat it cooks best. 2, convenience. 3, flavor quality. 4, cooking capacity. And 5, who I think each one is best suited for. Let's start with offset smokers. Offset smokers truly excel at cooking brisket. The design of the smoker creates indirect heat flow from the firebox through the main cooking chamber, and this convective top-down heat gently cooks the brisket over time, low and slow. Prolonged exposure to moderate convective heat around 225 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit allows collagen to slowly convert into gelatin, and it allows surface reactions such as the famous Maillard reaction to build up complex flavors on the meat. But the thing an offset does best is rendering fat caps, and that's why it can't be beat when it comes to brisket. On other smokers, heat is coming from below, but offset smokers are unique because the heat is coming from the firebox over top of the brisket, and it's cooking it from the top down. All that top-down convective heat is basically air frying the fat cap on the brisket and rendering it down into this ooey gooey caramel colored goodness that just can't be beat on any other smoker. And that's why offsets are and will always be the best at cooking brisket. Unfortunately, this is the least convenient smoker of the 3 smokers I'm going over in this video. Offset smokers require constant attention to fuel and airflow. You'll need to replenish your wood splits frequently, usually every 15 minutes or so, to maintain consistent temperatures and clean burning smoke. You'll also need to play with your fuel, vents, and firebox door quite a bit to dial it in. So it's labor intensive, but that's also part of the charm. If you enjoy fire management and being hands-on and going a little further for flavor, this is where you want to be. I know there's no place I'd rather be than sitting by my offset smoker, beer in hand, tending the fire all day. That is my happy place, and if you're like me, then offset smokers are the way to go. Let's talk about flavor quality. Offset smokers offer arguably the best flavor of any smoker. That's because you're combusting large amounts of real hardwood in a well-oxygenated and always burning fire that allows you to generate clean burning smoke that's rich in aromatic compounds such as syringol and guaiacol, which are largely responsible for that classic smoky barbecue aroma. Additionally, the high convective airflow on an offset smoker really promotes the Maillard reaction because that moisture is constantly wicking surface moisture away from the meat, which promotes a crispy bark. Offset smokers typically have high cooking capacity, especially on larger models like this Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn offset. You can easily fit 2 briskets in on the main rack side by side, and with strategic rotation, you could probably cook up to 4 at the same time. The wide horizontal layout allows for even spacing and airflow, which is crucial for large cuts like brisket or pork shoulder. So if you want to cook for a crowd, even if it's once in a while, it's nice to have all that extra space that an offset smoker gives you. Who is it for? Offset smokers are best suited for barbecue enthusiasts who value maximum flavor, bark development, and authentic wood burning flavors. If you're someone who enjoys tending a fire, manipulating the vents and fuel carefully, and really embracing the craft of barbecue, then this smoker rewards the time and effort. In my opinion, it's the best smoker to get if you really want to cook the best brisket possible, and to be honest, I use offsets 90% of the time, so much so that I have 4 of them. Moving on to drum smokers. Drum smokers like this Oklahoma Joe's Bronco burn charcoal and wood chunks in the bottom, and you control airflow through the bottom and top vents to control the temperature. Drum smokers are the best smokers for cooking ribs for 2 reasons. First, the vertical design and close proximity between the meat and the fire really fries up the meat and gives it a nice texture. And second, fat and juices drip directly onto the coals from the ribs, causing vaporization of aromatic compounds that I call fat smoke. These vaporized compounds rise back up and adhere to the ribs, creating a distinct grilled meat flavor that is really hard to replicate on any other smoker. It's kind of like a grilled steak taste on your barbecue. barbecue. Drum smokers are extremely convenient once they're up and running. After the initial charcoal bed is lit, the drum can hold stable temperatures for hours with minimal intervention. Airflow is controlled with simple top and bottom vents, and the thick metal construction holds heat really well. It's intimidating to some people to light the charcoal at the very start of the cook, but once they've learned how to do that and it's done, it just stays steady for 8 to 12 hours, and it makes barbecuing super easy. That being said, if you want to cook hot and fast on a drum, then you'll be flipping and turning your meat pretty often so it doesn't burn, but that's just a little bit of added flexibility, and you don't have to cook that way if you don't want to. Usually when I'm cooking low and slow, I just use a water pan or deflector plate, and I just hold it steady for 8 to 10 hours and don't even touch it. Flavor quality. Like I said before, drum smokers produce smoke flavor from burning chunks of wood and charcoal, and a unique grilled meat flavor that's different from what you get on any other smoker because all of that fat is dripping onto the coals. When I'm judging barbecue competitions and I bite into a rib, I can always tell which one was smoked on a drum smoker because it has that unique grilled meat flavor that you just can't replicate on any other smoker, and that is why I love drum smokers so much, because that grilled meat flavor just amps up the ribs so much. Also, because of the higher moisture content and slower airflow in the cook chamber, the smoke tends to stick more aggressively to the meat. This can lead to deeper smoke rings and more pronounced smoke flavor in a shorter amount of time, but the downside is if the airflow is restricted too much, it can become acrid or bitter. So maintaining a relatively clean burning fire, it doesn't have to be super clean. You can still see a lot of smoke, but if it gets thick and white and billowing, then you're gonna be in for some bad barbecue. So the trick with a drum smoker is just to find that happy medium where it's burning low and slow, but it's still getting enough air to the fire where it's not creating those acrid flavors. Cooking volume is moderate to low. It's not a lot. Drum smokers can technically hold a lot of food vertically if you're using hanging rods for things like ribs or sausages, but it requires more effort to manage vertical cooking space and hanging ribs and sausages. So most of the time I just lay my ribs or my other meat on the grate horizontally. Who is it for? Drum smokers are perfect for cooks who want a set and forget charcoal and wood smoker that still gives them incredible smoke flavor and versatility. It also imparts a very unique grilled meat flavor from the fat dripping down on the coals, and it's amazing for direct heat searing like steaks or tri-tip. But most of all, if you really want to cook the best ribs possible, then drum smokers are king because of that grilled meat flavor and that direct searing from the coals right below them. Moving on to gravity-fed smokers. What is it best at? Gravity smokers like the Oklahoma Joe's Tahoma are good at basically everything, but if I had to pick one meat, they're probably especially effective at pork butt because you just have to put the pork butt on the smoker, leave it for 10 to 12 hours, don't touch it at all, and you could go to your kid's baseball game, monitor the smoker remotely on your phone because it's all Wi-Fi enabled, and then come home and you'll have dinner ready. This smoker is maximum convenience with all the flavor of real burning charcoal and wood. How does it work? Well, basically these smokers operate with a hopper full of charcoal that feeds downwards by gravity. A fan regulates airflow and keeps the temperature consistent, essentially functioning with the convenience of a pellet smoker but with real smoke flavor. It's Wi-Fi enabled so you can monitor it from your phone, and the Tahoma has an auto light feature that lights your charcoal for you so you don't have to mess around with tumbleweed starters. This is by far the most convenient charcoal smoker on the market. Flavor quality. Flavor is very good on gravity smokers because they're burning real charcoal and real hardwood chunks. They're not burning dry pellets with not a lot of smoke flavor. I like to say it's got all of the convenience of a pellet grill but way more smoke flavor, and I don't just like to say that. I've tested it and it's true. Cooking volume. Cooking volume is medium to high depending on the model. Most gravity smokers offer multiple racks, giving you ample room for pork butt, brisket, ribs, chicken, or turkey all at once if you wanted to. Now, who are gravity smokers for? I would say they're ideal for people who want ultimate convenience and real wood burning smoke flavor. If you don't have the time or interest in managing a live fire and you just want maximum convenience to make some awesome flavorful barbecue, then gravity smokers are the way to go. Basically, they're the smokers that I recommend to the friends that say, hey, I want to replace my gas grill with a pellet grill. What kind of pellet grill should I get? And I say, no, get a gravity smoker because you get all the convenience of a pellet grill and you get double the flavor. So let's wrap it up. If you prioritize maximum smoke flavor, bark development, and the hands-on experience of traditional barbecue, and you want to make the best brisket possible, go with an offset smoker. If you want grilled meat flavor, amazing ribs, and a more set and forget charcoal experience, the drum smoker is your best bet. And if you want maximum set and forget convenience that is so easy to use and also versatility while getting great smoke flavor from real burning charcoal and wood chunks, then I would definitely consider a gravity smoker like the Tahoma. But I'm interested to hear from you guys. What is your favorite smoker? Let me know in the comments section below, and until next time, happy smoking.